Welcome to the Dirt Report. Today we're digging into the sky-high disruption, Starlink. Yep, if you haven't heard about it, Elon's satellite internet project has gone mainstream and mobile carriers are getting nervous. Why? Well, because Starlink delivers fast, low-latency internet just about anywhere, and that includes all the black spots telcos never really solved. So in this episode, we'll look at why telcos should be worried, how they're responding, hint they're bundling Starlink into their own services, and we'll check out the brand new 3rd generation Starlink kit, which I picked up from Bunnings for 548 Australian dollars. Yep, satellite internet from the same place you buy a shovel and snag. Let's get into it. Now, I've got this Starlink for another project unrelated to this, but I thought it'd be worthwhile discussing, and I've been meaning to talk about this for a little while. Starlink is launching thousands of low Earth orbit satellites to beam internet straight to users' terminals, if you don't know already. It's fast, up to 450 megabits per second in real world conditions. Not in Australia though. And latency sits around 30 to 50 milliseconds. That's enough for streaming and definitely enough for gaming and of course video calls. For rural and remote users, it's game changing. No more waiting on dodgy 3G or overpriced mobile hotspots. You just point a dish at the sky and you go online. The key disruption isn't just speed, it's coverage. Middle of nowhere? Ocean? Desert? Yeah, lots of desert in Australia. As long as you have power and a view of the sky, you've got internet. Starlink wipes out one of mobile networks' biggest advantages: coverage. And unlike traditional geostationary satellites, which suffer from 600 millisecond latency, Starlink's low Earth orbit constellation avoids that entirely. For telcos, this isn't just competition, it's a direct threat to the rural customer base, satellite NBN, and even fringe urban users. So enter the panic and the partnerships. Mobile providers aren't just watching, they're reacting really fast. Their play: if you can't beat Starlink, bundle it. Telstra has launched Telstra Satellite Internet powered by Starlink. They resell Starlink kits, cap speeds at around 50 megabits per second for consistency, and even bundle in home phone lines. It's rural broadband without laying a meter of fiber. Now, they're also launched satellite texting. If you're off-grid with a compatible phone, your SMS can piggyback on Starlink. It's baked into select Telstra mobile plans at this stage, no extra charge, though I'm sure that'll change at some point. Optus is doing the same. They've partnered with SpaceX to bring satellite SMS in 2024 and full voice data coverage hopefully this year. When? I don't know. On the business side, they're reselling Starlink to enterprise clients, including pro, install, and support. Globally, we've seen similar moves. T-Mobile in the US signed on with SpaceX to offer satellite messaging and data under its Coverage Above and Beyond initiative. In Japan, KDDI. In Canada, Rogers. You see, Starlink is quietly cutting deals with one major carrier per country. The goal? Offer complete national coverage without needing more towers. So while telcos are scared, they're not stupid. They're bundling Starlink to extend their reach and keep customers from jumping ship. But ultimately, if everybody has Starlink, is there any differentiating factor between them? Not really. So let's talk hardware. I've got the 3rd generation kit right here, and it's a serious upgrade from Gen 1. No more motors to track the satellites as they flew past. Gen 3 does this electronically using phased array beamforming. Basically, it steers the signal using radio wave patterns. Very Jedi-like level stuff. No more moving parts means less things to break, and it should be cheaper. It is a couple of $100 cheaper than Gen 1, and it draws less power at idle, which means you can take it remotely and use a battery pack. And the new dish is flat, it's rectangular, and it uses a simple kickstand to angle it up. You can of course get mounts for it. A couple of $100 gets you some nice poles you can put on your RV. It supports higher throughput with theoretical speeds up to 720 megabits per second, though typical performance sits around the 450 megabits per second in other areas other than Australia for some strange reason. Now, power draw is about 85 watts, but I did see it using 76, which is worth knowing if you're obviously going to use this off-grid with solar or batteries. Now, the router had a refresh too, Wi-Fi 6, which is nice, dual Ethernet ports on the back, and enough range for a whole house or large campsite. This means up to 235 devices, though I doubt you'll have that many using Starlink in the bush. I guess the whole point is to get away from people. Setup is plug in and play as always, power it on, wait a minute or two, and you're online. But let me just grab the power brick, because there's still another power brick and it's quite large. So there's 3 pieces. And look, this is the standard version. There is a mobile or mini version, which has slower speeds and not as good signal. So I still recommend this if you really want to go full off-grid and get good speeds. But I don't know why they couldn't just put it into one unit. The plugs are all waterproof, which is nice. They have little grommets to stop any liquids getting on or just moisture. What I really like about it now is, well, you can buy it retail. You know, as a side, isn't it wild that you can buy space internet with your garden hose and lawn fertilizer? Bunnings. Now, I tested the dish on the Starlink Rome plan. That's the one I really wanted to give a go. It's kind of like the travel plan that lets you take it anywhere. Use it at home, on the road, at a campsite, and pause it when you don't need it, which is a big bonus because it's $80 a month. Rome users are deprioritized compared to fixed residential users. So if the network's busy, your speeds will drop. Starlink says to expect between 5 to 50 megabits per second down and then 2 to 10 megabits up, and a latency still under 100, which is okay. In real world use, I saw anywhere from 20 to 100 megabits down, usually around 50 to 80 megabits per second in rural WA. And upload was solid for especially Zoom calls and YouTube uploads, and cloud sync for my laptop for iCloud. Latency hovered around 30 to 70, which is great for calls and even a little bit of light gaming. So weather-wise, I tested it during the rainfall in WA in the last 2 weeks and found a few brief speed dips and dropouts, but nothing dramatic. The Gen 3 dish is IP67 rated, so dust and water aren't a big concern. So should telcos be worried about Starlink? Absolutely. It delivers broadband in places they can't, and it does it well, but they're playing it smart by partnering with SpaceX to make Starlink part of their own offerings. It's a win-win. Telcos gain reach, Starlink gains users. But the moment SpaceX makes Starlink its own mobile telco carrier and syncs up to your phone for data, phone calls, and SMS and everything else, telcos are done for. But it also will mean that Starlink is the only option and becomes a bit of a monopoly until other companies send more trash into space and we have more options. So the only reason not to use Starlink will probably be just to not use Starlink. What's interesting is the fact that it's sitting on retail shelves in Australia. It shows how far satellite internet has come. One moment, there was none, the next, it's everywhere. So for consumers, it's a great win. It means more choice, more coverage, better tech for those people who have been disconnected in rural areas. So whether you're on Team Telco or Team Starlink, you know you have options now to get online, even in the middle of nowhere. So that's it for this report. Starlink is rising fast, telcos are adapting, the sky is no longer the limit when it comes to staying connected. But one day, I reckon telcos will fall apart if Starlink decides to go full telco. Thanks for watching, we'll catch you all in another one. Bye!